Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for being here. My name is Gemma and this is Raining Cats and Bobbins. If you are new here, then welcome. It is great to have you here. So today I am doing a bit of a sewing update or crafty update actually, because I thought I might update you with my crochet as well and just give you a bit of a review, I guess, on batch making, because that's what I have been doing at the moment. So let's go with a bit of an update first. So probably just in the last couple of weeks, my sojo has been a bit hit and miss, mostly miss. I don't know, I just feel tired. I think I need to try and figure out what I can do of an evening, although at the same time try not to berate myself for not wanting to do anything. But pretty much I get home from work and I have a workout depending on what day it is, sort the cat out, have dinner, have a tidy or do whatever, sit on the sofa, and then pretty much just start nodding off until it's time to go to bed, and then feel really bad because I've not done stuff that I wanted to do. But that's not a crime. Like, there's going to be no task police coming for me because I didn't complete whatever task I had apparently set out for myself. So whatever. So, and then obviously like weekends, there's a lot of stuff to fit in of a weekend. So it's not, sewing doesn't always take the priority. But I digress. I had been making some really great progress on some dresses that I was making. Dresses plural, pattern 1. I made multiple versions, or not versions, but multiple dresses of the Myosotis dress, which I happen to have to hand. That was purely by coincidence because I'm next to my sewing desk. This is the dress. So this is the Myosotis dress by Deer and Doe. This is something that I'd been wanting to make for well, pretty much since it came out. And then I only got the PDF pattern fairly recently and made it up fairly quickly after getting the pattern. That doesn't always happen, but yeah, fairly quickly. So I made up one version, which was this. I'm not going to do an actual pattern review yet or show and tell. This is basically just to give you an update. Once I am completely finished, then I will do a more in-depth go round. But yeah, this was the first one and this is now complete. So this is done. I say complete, actually it needs a good pressing and potentially some top stitching here because I don't know, it's sort of pulling open. So I need to sort that out or something. But yeah, so I made that one, loved it. I did it with the ruffle on the sleeve and then that was it. And then wanted more. So enter batch making. Now I'm pretty sure I have mentioned before that I trace and cut in batches. So when I want to make a pattern, I tend to wait until I've got a few patterns that I want to do or have a vague plan of, so I can trace them all at the same time. And then I will most likely, if I've got the fabrics for them, cut them out at the same time as well. Even if it's just toiles, I'll just cut a load of toiles all at the same time. For me, it's just easier. I have to do my tracing and my cutting downstairs in the living room on the floor because it's the only large space that I have to be able to do that. And then that does mean obviously taking down all my tracing papers and fabrics and pens and pencils and rulers and scissors, all the stuff that goes with doing all that stuff, you know, taking it downstairs. And rather than keep going up and down with it every time I want to trace something and cut it, I will just do it as many as I can at that one time. I just find it a lot easier. I can spend sort of a day or an evening or whatever, just, you know, put the telly on or, you know, the radio, whatever, and just sort of trace and cut away. And then it means I've got loads of stuff already. I'll project bag it, which I'm trying not to do so much. But if it's just toiles, I figure that's not so bad. But I can sort of, it's ready for when I can get to it, like ready to make it. So, and that's pretty much as far as my batch crafting had gone. But I decided, as I wanted to make, I don't even know why I wanted, I just really like this dress. So I was like, I want more than one. So I found some fabrics. I went through my stash. I pulled out quite a lot, but narrowed it down to these 3 and then thought I'm just going to make all 3 of them into this dress because why not? And that's what I did. So this is my first foray into actual batch sewing, except for, that's actually a bit of a lie. Which Christmas? Not the one just gone, potentially the one before that. I can't really remember. I made some little, well, kind of, I guess like project bags. They're very similar to just like a little makeup bag or something, just a little zippered pouch with a, you know, rectangular bottom and whatever. I did batch sew those because they were gifts, so I just cut them all out and then They were all of a very similar fabric colours and stuff, so I could just do all that. So yeah, actually I have batch sewed. That was a lie. But that was just a little non-garmenty whatever thing. So this is my first garment batch sewing, I guess. Now I can see pros and cons with this, and that's what we're going to go through today. I hope you're sitting comfortably. Good, then I'll begin. So these are the 3 that I picked out. Again, I'm not going to be doing a massive show and tell at the moment. That will come later when I have completely finished all these and I can do pictures and all that sort of happy stuff. But they're different colours. Like I've got, this one is a black background. This is definitely like a denim blue, and this is more of a navy blue. So, but they're all obviously it's the same garment. I've done some slightly different things. So there's a ruffle sleeve there, no ruffle sleeve here. That's about the most different thing that I've done actually. Everything else is the same. Now, when I did the first one, I decided that I wanted to extend the bodice just a little bit so it hit more closer to my natural waistline, and I'd put ties on it because it's a little bit of a sort of smock fit and I do prefer it a little bit more fitted, so I thought I'll put some ties on just so I can bring it in just a little bit. And I decided I wanted to make those longer. I'd actually used the pattern from another top, and for this particular garment they weren't long enough. Now I made those changes and just did it on all 3 of them without testing one first. Now that is a gamble, which I'm hoping has paid off. I haven't yet tried them on with how far I've now got with them. I'm hoping it's going to be okay. But that is something that you really need to consider if you are batch making, is that have you got the fit how you want it to be before you make them all up? Because I'm pretty sure this is going to be fine, because I wasn't, it's just lengthening the bodice. I wasn't, you know, making it tighter, making it looser, anything like that. If you are going to do something like that, I would definitely not have batched it. I would have tried it out first. With this, I can literally just like take the skirt off and pop, you know, put it up a bit, you know, take a bit off the bodice. It won't be that hard. But yeah, if it's actual fitting, then I would not have batch sewed at all. I would have tried it out again first. But so this should be okay. So that's a point of consideration if you're going to batch make. Something else I have done, which not everyone would probably do, is I have done, except for any top stitching, so buttonholes and sleeve and skirt hems, I used the same colour thread for all of it, which was just black, which not everyone would be happy to do that. So that is something that is a personal preference. I'm not that bothered because you can't see it. Like if it's just a seam one, you can't really see it. So I don't mind that. And even my overlocker thread, I didn't change that either. Now, I don't have different colour threads for my overlocker. I have black and I have white. I very rarely make a garment that requires me to use the white, so it's mostly the black, which I'm actually starting to run out of because I've used it for everything. No matter the colour, even if it's red, green, whatever, I've just used the black one. I don't know, even though if I had different colours, if I would change them. I might do, just because, yeah, I can see how it would look nice. But, so I'm going to show you on this one just because this is what you would, it's the lightest colour, so what you'll see it best on. I think I've managed to make these fairly tidy on the inside. I think this is also something that I've spoken about is that I'm trying to make them a little bit nicer looking on the inside so they look as, you know, as nice as they do on the outside. It is hit and miss. I think the worst area for me is the waistband. I just don't think that that is a nice looking seam. I don't know if that's just me. I don't know. Maybe it's not as bad as I am thinking. Maybe it is the rows of thread to gather it, because I've left those in, because they're just in the seam allowance. So maybe it's that, and a bit of dodgy cutting of on the overlocker there. Little ski jump. Yeah, so you can see that all the thread that I've used on all the seams, all the overlocking thread, it is black. Now, because it's a denim blue, I think it looks okay. I think the black goes quite well with it anyway. It doesn't match, like you can see it, but I'm honestly not worried about that. If that is something that you are quite particular about, then batch making may not be for you in the way that I've done it. So how I've batch sewed these, obviously I had all the bodices first. So I did like all the shoulder seams and all the shoulder and side seams, whichever you need to do first. And then I did all the sleeves. So I had 6 sleeves ready to go in, and then I had 6 sleeves put in. And then I did 3 lots of facings, and then 3 lots of buttonholes, and then 3 lots of putting skirt sides together, 3 lots of gathering the skirt together, and so on and so forth. You get it. So I did each stage that, you know, however it needed. I did that all 3 times. And then, so they all slowly came together at, you know, around the same time. So and because I was using the same thread, it was easy to do that. Now, if you're wanting to change threads for each different colour, if you're doing, you know, lots of different colours of the same garment, that's not going to be so easy. Like changing the thread each time you want to move on to the next one, that pathway leads to madness. Like, no, just no. I would not do that. Maybe sort of if I did it, made one whole bodice, then the next bodice, and then the next bodice, that might be not so bad, because there's a lot of sewing in between each change. But then if you're going to do that, you might as well just do a whole garment change, So I don't know. So I guess that is a personal preference as to how much you want your threads to match on the inside, like how you want it to look. I'm not worried because I'm lazy, I guess. And I just don't have like the matching stuff. And with stuff, like I've managed to get fairly good threads. Like all the threads that I've used for like all the top stitching and stuff, I've just had to find what is the closest match that's in my stash, because obviously at the moment, or like during lockdown, I couldn't get anywhere to be able to match them up. And I didn't really think I could try and match them up online, because I just don't think the colour that you see on the screen, I just don't trust that it's going to really be the same as what you get in real life. I know it would be very, very close, but obviously everyone's screen can show the colour slightly different. So I just thought if I've got something that could match, I'm going to go with it. So I did manage to find sort of a fairly, I don't really know if you can see it. It's sort of a bit lighter, but again, because it's sort of like it's a chambray. So you've got like that denim look where it's like the blue, but you've got those little like whitey or lighter colour pattern in it, whatever. I don't know what you call it. So I think that goes quite well. Obviously that one was just black anyway. And then this one, I think, again, it's a bit lighter than the background, but there are lighter blues in it. So I think I've managed to match that fairly well as well. But I can't remember which one it was, but I didn't really have enough of it to have done all of the inside of the garment as well anyway. So that was another reason why I was just like, well, I'm just going to do all of the inside black. So yeah, so that's just, it depends on how you like to do your garment. So yeah, I'm almost finished with these. All I've got left to do is the hem. I'm pretty sure I'm going to have to chop some of the length of the skirt off anyway. I think I've done it a bit long. I did add length to it This is not just the main skirt piece. I've added length to it, but I think it's a bit long. I think I'm gonna have to take off at least like, I don't know, maybe like that much ish, maybe a bit less. I'll try it on and find out. But I want it sort of just around knee length or just under my knee. And these go, I don't know, maybe potentially like mid calf, which is a bit long. So yeah, so they're almost done, and then I can try them all on, give them all a good press. They will all get labels because I'm sure that these are going to be in my favourites. And I tell you what, when I was making these up or choosing the fabrics, I was so sure, and it probably still will be, but I was like, this is going to be my favourite because I love this fabric and I do love it, and it probably will be my favourite. But I have to say, this is going to be a strong second. This has come up a lot nicer than what I originally was imagining. So, but again, I don't want to show you too much because we're going to go through that another day. Yeah, so anyway, so I'm almost finished with those. I am really pleased. I probably would batch cut, batch make, batch sew again. It would just depend on, I don't know what it is. I don't want to do it so much so that I end up with so much in my wardrobe. I kind of create my own fast fashion thing. So I don't want to do so much that I'm like stuffed full of stuff that I'm never going to wear. So it has to be items that I'm going to be like, oh yeah, they'll get a lot of wear out of them. For example, this shirty t-shirt or whatever mashup I end up making with those, I probably would batch sew those up because they're so simple. You could literally just do all the shoulder seams and side seams on all of them, get the neckband ready on all of them, do the neckband, do the sleeves. You know, it would be really simple. And I would, t-shirts are something that obviously are always useful to have. So yeah, that would definitely work. Even like underwears and stuff. I've not done underwear yet, but I would like to at some point, and I think that'd probably be quite good batch sewing. However, I probably would be a little bit more particular with changing the thread because I feel that's probably a lot more visible threads in that. I don't know, I've not done underwear yet, so I'm not really sure. I'm just talking rubbish. Anyway, yeah, I just wanted to give you my thoughts on like batch making. I don't know, how do you batch make any part of it? Like, do you batch trace and cut? Do you batch sew? Do you do it on all of your garments? Do you make multiples of everything so that you do that a lot? Or is it just on specific things? I'd love to know. I'd love to know what your thoughts are. I would probably do it in the future. I just feel that because another reason why is that I've been trying to, because I don't know, when my sojo's been a bit like, I've been thinking small bits at a time. That's how I've been making these, and I've been really, really enjoying it. Rather than sort of thinking, oh gosh, yeah, I must dedicate a whole day to sewing, because I just can't do that. Sometimes I can, but very rarely can I do that. I've got other stuff to do, and sometimes that includes housework, and I'm sorry, I am someone that would put housework before sewing just because I like it tidy. So yeah, I don't always have a whole day to do it. And then sometimes it makes me disappointed and upset, and I'm like, oh, but I wanted to sew. But I don't know, I have a weird, like, it goes around in circles. Anyway, yeah, I thought this time I'm going to do it a little bit at a time. So I'll just do an evening here and there, even if it's just an hour or two, you know, see how it goes. That'll be perfect. And I've been really, really enjoying it. I know that I've been absent from YouTube for a while, a bit longer than I meant to. I kind of just forgot about it. I do apologise. But if you follow me on my Instagram, you'll see that I've been a bit more visible there. And because I've also decided, I've been doing this like 365 days of me kind of thing. And like all my sewing and stuff. And I've just been showing my small amounts of progress. And it's been quite nice to see it. And actually, even when you do it a small bit at a time, especially if it's a simple garment, you see a lot of progress in that sort of short space of time, which is really great, because I'm an instant gratification type person. And actually I was seeing enough progress that it made me happy. And yeah, I just actually quite enjoyed it. Even if I only managed to do like sew the sleeves up or sew the pockets up. These all have pockets, by the way, just to add that in. But yeah, I've actually felt really accomplished just being able to do those small pieces. So I think that at least that part is definitely the way forward for me, whether it is batch sewing or just one garment a little bit at a time works for me. So I'm going to carry on doing that, I think, even though I haven't done anything for like the last couple of weeks because I just haven't wanted to. Anyway, yeah, that's do you do that as well, or are you a sort of die-hard whole day of sewing type person? Like, again, let me know what you do. What is your sewing way of life? I would love to know. One last crafting update is just, I thought I'd give you a quick update on my crochet, what I'm doing at the moment. So I am finally working on a cardigan. Hurrah! It would have been more progress, except I got so far and then I undid it all. Because when I did the test square, yes, I did a test square, swatch, whatever you want to call it. I did it with the size hook that the pattern suggests, and it ended up being about 1 inch too short. And I was kind of reading through the pattern. It does say, like, when you choose your size, when you're making it, you can add extra rows if you want it to be bigger. And I thought, oh, well, surely this will be fine. Like, me being 1 inch out, I can just add extra rows. I pity that past Gemma because I then was sort of thinking, well, actually, going around the neck, because it's one that you add then a band on, there just is not room because you don't add extra rows here because you need the space from the right hook size. So I undid it all and I went a hook size up and it's much better. So this is the pattern that I'm using. If you were only here for the sewing, I don't mind if you switch off now. But if you're interested in other crafts as well, then keep watching. So this is what I'm making. It is the Choosy Stuff, that is the brand name. Choosy Stuff, the classic old school cardi for grown-ups. And I just really like the look of it. It's a really sort of nice, big, chunky looking cardi, and apparently perfect for beginners. And yes, I thought I would give it a go. Why not? I do have a lot of cardigan and jumper patterns that I would like to try and make, which would probably take me the rest of my life if I actually tried to do them all. But I thought I'd give this one a go for my first one. So this is what I have. I mean, I'm sort of like, oh yeah, I've made so much progress. It's not really a lot, but for me it is. And it's, oh, hold on, it's this. That's my progress. Just to give you an idea of what how it works. It's this. So you're kind of making one, from what I can gather, you're kind of making one massive granny square that when you flip it over somehow becomes a garment. I've never made a granny square, so I can't quite imagine it, but apparently it works like this. So maybe you can, if you are a crocheter, hopefully you can see where this is going. But yeah, so you carry it on and then you do sleeves, or sleeves are part of it, I don't remember, and you do a band around the whole neck and stuff, and then a band on the sleeves. But yeah, so that's where I'm at with that. This is the yarn I'm using. This is the one that was from Wilkinson's. I thought it would just be quite a good starter yarn and starter pattern, and I think it will go quite well with a couple of my Myosotis dresses. So yeah, that's where I'm at with that. Anything else? I haven't made any more progress with my cross stitch. I don't even know whether you've seen my progress or what I'm doing with that. If you want to see it or know about it, then let me know and I'll absolutely include that on a future video. I did buy a new cross stitch, but I don't want to start that until I finish the one that I'm doing at the moment, so I really should crack on with it. And yeah, I think that's as far as I've got. I am sort of wondering what I'm going to move on to next when I finish these dresses. I'm not entirely sure. I really, really, really should work on some of my UFOs, and I'm going to try to. And I might do a combination. So maybe like one, not as really like proper batching, unless I can use the black thread on all of it. It will depend, because I won't do that, I don't do that all the time. If I've got enough of the correct thread, then I do use that throughout the whole garment. But these are strange times at the moment. So I may choose one UFO and one new thing just to sort of try and keep my interest perked. I'm going to see how it goes. I will, once I know what I'm working on, I'll try and pop back on here and let you know what's what. I think that's it for now. So yeah, please do comment down below your thoughts on batch making. If you do it, if you don't do it, your reasons why to both. And yeah, what are you working on at the moment? I'd love to know. Just sewing stuff or something else as well? Do you do another craft? That is it for now. Hopefully this is another fairly short video. I'll try and see if I can trim it down a little bit. We'll see. But anyway, I hope you are all doing okay. Hope you're all well. Thinking of you all, and yeah, hopefully we're all doing okay. Anyway, I'll see you later. Bye.